Welcome back, everybody. Today we have the distinct pleasure of bringing you the review of the Bravo Company RECCE 16 rifle. Now, those of you who follow my channel here know that I'm friends with Such. I went down to his place probably 3 months ago, and got a chance to look at his RECCE 16 from Bravo Company and decided that I needed to have one as well. So if it looks similar to his, it's because it is very similar to his. It's really an awesome rifle, and once I handled it, I had to have one. So we have one here now. It's called the RECCE, as you guys have seen in the intro and me just say. Now, what is that? What is that designation? Well, basically, per the mill spec, it's a rifle that was designed basically with a 16-inch barrel, mid-length gas system, and some other features that were put into that specific contract for the RECCE program. Now, civilian rifles like Bravo Company, I think CMMG makes one. There's several other companies that make what they call RECCE. Seem to have a little bit of a different feature set out there, but they all seem to fit into the same mold, if you will. Lightweight, 16-inch barrels, and capable of doing a lot of different things from CQB to shooting out at distance relatively well, at least for a 5.56 chambered rifle. So what we're going to do now is do a little bit more shooting, do an accuracy test, then come back inside, take a look at some of the detailed features of this rifle, the specs, what goes into making this specific designation from Bravo Company, and then let you know what we think of it at the end. We're going to see what kind of accuracy we can get out of this sucker. We got a few different loads, a couple Gorilla ammunition loads, and then Freedom Munitions 55 grain reman. That's what we're going to start with. Remanufactured for those that aren't following my fancy lingo. So, target down range at 100 yards. We have a Vortex 6x18 scope on there, so certainly we're not lacking for magnification. And that should pretty much do it. Let's get on to the review. Certainly pretty solid there from remanufactured stuff. Next up, we got the Gorilla. This is the 69 grain Sierra Match King OTM bullet. This stuff's been super accurate before for us, so it always depends on the rifle, like anything else. Some rifles just prefer certain ammo. But by that first group, it looks like off to a good start. So we'll see how it does with the heavier stuff. We have another lighter load here coming up next. Got a little excited there after those first two. Next up, we have the 55 grain loaded with a Sierra Blitzkrieg bullet from Gorilla. So back to the lighter stuff. The barrel here is a 1-in-7 twist FN barrel. Chrome line. MP tested, all that fancy stuff. So 4150 mil-spec steel. A lot of people think that if barrel's chrome line, it can't be accurate. We've sort of dispelled that over the years here on the channel. On the very razor thin accuracy, potential of a load in the gun, maybe it makes a difference, but practically speaking, for most people, in most scenarios, it doesn't. So either way, we're going to keep putting rounds down range here, enough yapping, and see how this one shoots. Pretty solid there. Let's go check it out. Certainly we got pretty good results there, as you guys already saw. We'll measure them out. These squares here on this easy to see target are 1 inch, so it gives you a good approximation of what you're actually looking at. First off, down here, that so you guys can see it, we're just a touch under 2 inches. So probably 1 3/4 on that sucker. Moved over here. And we are, again, right about 1 3/4 inches. And moved up here. This is definitely the group of the day, right at 1 inches. So that's with no rest. I didn't have my rest. I had a bunch of stuff in the Mustang, couldn't fit it in today. But otherwise, no excuses. It's certainly shooting pretty well, as I'd expect from BCM. On the front of the rifle, we have the Mod Zero compensator. This is a hybrid compensator and flash hider on there, so it's going to give you some muzzle control while not having a lot of blast and or concussion. It's going to sort of balance the line between the two. Now, this one here is very similar to the A2 in terms of dimension, size. So if you have a suppressor that works with your A2 muzzle devices, most of them will also work with the Mod Zero compensator. The standard 16-inch recce model that we're looking at here is going to have a government profile barrel. It's going to have a 1 in 7 twist rate. It's chrome wine chamber and bore. It is individually MPT and MPI tested, and it's got the phosphate finish on the outside as well. You're going to see also the Bravo Company gold profile gas block on there to fit nicely underneath those KMR handguards. The KMR handguards are simply awesome. I have a specific review dedicated to only the handguard if you guys want to check that out, where I go into all the different details on it, but we'll try to give you a quick and dirty of it here. You can see it does have key mod attachment points all the way around, so you can set your lights up, whatever other accessories you want, vertical grips, etc. at offset angles, 9, 3, 6 o'clock traditional angles, whatever you want. It also has the 1913 style rail on top for adding any sort of optics, accessories that you want that mount in that style. Now, the BCM attachment point here really is genius. It's almost impossible. I've said it in my review and I'll say it again. I don't know how this would come loose without intentionally making it come loose. It's a very, very secure lockup system with the barrel nut there, and really is a genius type of design. Under heat, which is when a lot of handguards tend to come loose, there's really no effect that heat would have on it at all with the lockup system there. So very, very good system, and extremely lightweight and low profile as well. The upper and lower receiver are made from forged 7075 T6 aluminum, very strong, lightweight mil-spec material. Now this one obviously has the Cerakote. If you get the traditional black one, it will be Type 3 hard anodized on there. Upper receiver is going to have the M4 feed ramp cuts, and the lower receiver has a low shelf for those of you guys that are interested in potentially going full auto down the road. The charging handle is the extremely popular BCM Mod 4 gunfighter charging handle. It has the medium-sized latch, at least medium-sized for gunfighters anyway, compared to your standard mil-spec one. It's a much larger latch than you're going to find on there. It allows you to quickly charge the weapon. While not ambidextrous, most lefties, I think, have a very easy time coming over the top and actuating that lever to charge the rifle or to clear malfunctions as needed. For many years now, the BCM bolt carrier group really has been the standard that most AR bolt carrier groups are judged by. You can see a lot of very high quality features going on here. First off, we have a full auto profile, and it's made from 8620 steel. It's chrome wined both inside there where the bolt rides as well as in the gas key. Speaking of the gas key, you can see that it is properly staked as you'd expect in BCM. The bolt is made of 158 Carpenter steel, and it is HPT and MPI tested, individually tested, not batch tested, as well as being shot peened. Now, the extractor itself is tool steel, and it comes with the BCM spring and the BCM black extractor insert. The BCM gunfighter grip here is included, and as you can see, it has very good texturing on there, something that a lot of people like. And the grip angle compared to your standard A2 is a little bit more vertical. Now, one thing that does is to put your wrists in a more natural angle while you're shooting, particularly for folks who like to keep their elbows in, as opposed to the old chicken wing style. So it's a very natural position for your trigger finger as well when you go to break the trigger. Now, speaking of the trigger, this one here has the ALG trigger in there, and as you can see, It is nickel Teflon finished, and it will be a very, very smooth break. Breaks right at 5.5 pounds on my scale. Very good break and a very good reset as well, as you'd expect. It's just mil-spec dimensions, but held to very tight tolerances and has that nice finish on there to make it very clean and crisp. The buffer is an H1 buffer, so a little bit heavier than your standard carbine buffer. When you combine that with the mid-length 16-inch barrel on there, makes for a very, very soft shooting rifle. Moving on back, you'll see that our castle nut there is properly staked, and we also have just in front of that castle nut a quick detach plate on the end of our receiver for any sort of sling accessories that you want to put on there or mount on there. Additional quick detach points are found here on both sides of the stock. Now the stock itself is the BCM Gunfighter Mod 0. I also have a specific review just on this stock. A lot of really cool things going on there, but it's mounted up there on the 7075 T6 extension. It comes with the rifle. The stock adjusts by pushing up here on this little lever. It's sort of a non-traditional lever. It doesn't look like anything else out there on the market, but it's very snug, and there's a very cool little system in there that secures it to the extension there, making it really wobble free and very solid and secure on there regardless of what position you have it in there on the rifle. So if you're looking for all the details, by all means, I'd take it apart in the review and you can see exactly how it works, but it's got a lot of cool features on there. Real nice angle there for if you're shooting with body armor. Comes in handy when you're rolling that rifle up into your shoulder pocket. With any AR-15, weight is always going to be a concern. Now, this rifle has a lot of things going on that are going to help keep it nice and lightweight. The handguards, the stock, the grip are all really designed with weight in mind, as well as the compensator on the end there. So this one, as you can see, stripped down, comes in just over 6 pounds. Now, this is the government profile version, like we mentioned earlier, talking about the barrel. There are actually lighter weight versions of this, both in 16 and 14.5 inch options. So if you're really, really concerned about weight and want it even lighter, BCM does have those offerings for you. Longtime viewers of the channel know that I say often that really the only rifles that interest me are reliable ones. Same with pistols or shotguns, whatever the case may be. I want everything to be reliable. It's sort of a sticking point for me. Now, this rifle's been 100% reliable with any ammo we put through it. Obviously, the majority of it's been the Freedom Munition stuff because they're obviously an ammo sponsor here on the channel. But it's eaten all types of ammo, from the match grade stuff that you guys saw during the accuracy test, all the way down to, I recently went out to a AK Files. It's a forum for those of you guys that don't know. I went out to a group shoot with those folks, and being that they're all AK junkies, they just can't be bothered to buy brass cased ammo. All those folks were running tool ammo through this, which really, in my opinion, is about the worst of the worst ammo, and it ate it up and asked for more. So no issues at all with reliability. So exactly what you'd expect from Bravo Company. The price tag on this thing, I believe, is $1,475 at least as of today. Now, it could be priced less or more, you know, depending on where you shop. Several places carry these. I know Bravo Company's website themselves, GNR Tactical, I think Aim Surplus carries these as well. So several good companies out there online who carry them. Of course, you can probably have your local gun shop as well order some through Bravo Company for you if you so choose. That's the price point. Now, people are always going to ask, you know, is it worth it? I can build an AR, I can do all this stuff. That's true, you can. I've done reviews of many of these parts that are already on here. The bolt carrier group I did a review of, the handguard, the stock, the grip, and the charging handle I think I've done, and the compensator. That's true. One thing you get with Bravo Company when you actually purchase the complete rifle, though, is you get their quality control that goes into it, particularly like their upper receivers. There's a famous story out there where Paul, the owner of Bravo Company, got a batch in that was not true, essentially, and he sent them all back and was delayed for a long time on all of his production timelines that he needed to meet. But he just simply was not going to put out a subpar product. That it would have worked, sure, but it wouldn't have been up to Bravo Company standards. So that type of care and decision making goes into all of these components on a Bravo Company rifle. So when you get it, it's, I don't want to say you know it's going to work, because you always want to test your stuff out, but it's about as high a probability that it's going to work and work well as you'll get from any rifle company out there on the market. So very, very high quality stuff. I've been recommending Bravo Company rifles here on the channel since the beginning, I guess. So, you know, I've been consistent on that one. If you guys have any questions, though, about this rifle that we didn't answer here in the video, by all means, post below in the comment section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. But thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.
took a little while to get it.